Maruti Suzuki has just launched the revamped Brezza. It comes with a turbo engine. There's a lot of potential for this model. And talking to me about this and a lot more, I have with me Mr. Partho Banerjee, the Senior Executive Officer of Maruti Suzuki for Sales and Marketing. Partho-san, first on the Brezza, great pricing, taking advantage of the lower GST bracket. But also, I think, this is going to be appealing to a new set of customers. Turbo engine, as it is, Brezza has got good volumes. How do you see this, incrementally adding volumes to this brand?
Uh, Thank you, Hormazd, for acknowledging that we have come with altogether a new Brezza. It's not a facelift only because we have changed the heart of the vehicle, which is
Right.
more important. And we strongly believe that today's Indian consumer is not only looking for the mileage, practicality part of it, which this Brezza has been doing fantastic. But we wanted to meet the expectation of the young customers, how we can be part of his lifestyle. So to add in more zippiness, how he can really have the thrill with this new Brezza. So that's where the turbo 1 liter came. And by the way, I think here I would like to compliment our engineering team, and Hormazd, you can vouch for it. In the market, the 1.2 liter turbo engines which are there, our engineering team has been able to match the output of the same by having this 1 liter turbo engine. That's I would say, very good engineering.
Yeah, it is a direct injection. It's pretty high-tech turbo as well. So right up there, 250
So when the
bar
customer
pressure.
who is driving it,
Right.
typically what he looks for, so when we are having a product clinic, so we were talking to some customer, we were showing the benchmarks which are there in the market. So he says, मेरे को horsepower, torque का correlation समझ में नहीं आता है. So the lady who was moderating the session, so she says, what do you want? कहता मैं city driving में जब single में खड़ा होता हूँ, तो as soon as the signal turns green, I want to zip and overtake the some of the vehicles which are standing in front of me so that I can have a comfortable drive later on. I need to keep on pressing the brake pedal. So he said, that's very interesting insight actually. Then there was one guy, he says ki Brezza is good, but whenever I go for long drives on the weekends, I miss the cruising speed. So we understood. So see, Brezza was doing good numbers. Hormazd, around 15,000.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So
Fantastic
when we got this product feedback, so we went back to our engineering team. These are the feedbacks which are coming of the customers.
Is it also, do you think, changing customer as well, wanting a little bit more than transportation?
Absolutely.
They want, let's say, emotion. They want a good, a strong driving experience and all that. And interesting because even the Maruti customers now getting more aspirational in that sense.
I think Hormazd earlier, I think you rightly said that fuel efficiency mileage was one of the primary reasons for people to select the car.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with it. Today also people see the mileage.
But that's hygiene now.
But that's not the primary reason.
Right.
More than that, you have to offer something.
Right.
So
there's more excitement there.
Quality, reliability, mileage, they are given. You need to give the best. On the top of it, you need to meet their lifestyle expectations, what they're looking for. And if you don't do that, so you're missing something on it actually. So you created a good platform, good base. On the top of it, you have to put in the building blocks.
Right. And Partho, do you see it's very, very interesting, you've got this obviously very unique situation compared to other compact SUVs or mid-size SUVs where the turbo is actually more competitive than the naturally aspirated. So how do you see the volumes panning out for this? I mean, incremental volumes. And one more point I want to make is there's also scope for an automatic version, which is there. The sense I get is, you want to wait and watch and see how the response is. And then obviously in a phased manner, not fire all your bullets. You can give the 6-speed auto, which you have already in the Franks. It's a logical assumption.
So in Brezza, we have a very unique situation. First time buyer, replacement car buyer, additional car buyer, all are equal. We are sitting in a very good space. It never happens. But in this product, so it clearly shows that we have a very good base, fan following of Brezza actually.
Right.
And we were the first to launch this product in this Indian market. So we were very clear that how to have a play across all the three segments. How can we keep our existing Brezza customers into our fold? At the same time, to the young customers, we need to give him more of a peppy and a zip sort of a experience. That's where the turbo comes. And
So do you think these will be conquests outside the brand also? I mean, from other brands as well, because you're offering this for the first time, and others do so. And plus, you've got the Brezza equity and brand already built.
we are already seeing that win back is happening
Right.
across many other models also, Hormazd. And that's where our market share is going up. In the last quarter, we almost gained 2% market share. And it's not only our base, but win back is also happening.
Right. So, Partho, I want to shift to the market. You've had a really good couple of months. There's a lot of capacity also being unlocked, about 500,000. We've seen the revival in the small cars. So, just to get your sense, I mean, this year is looking out to be a really exciting year for you all. And clearly, you've got you've got these interventions, these model launches as well. But how do you see in terms of growth? I mean, the guidance of 8 to 10%, is that on track? I mean, what is, what can you share with us, given all these factors?
Last year was the year of two halves. I
Yeah.
always used to say.
Correct.
This year will also
Pre
will
and
be,
post.
this year also will be year of two halves. So first half, obviously, you will see a very good growth due to the base effect.
Right.
So we are growing at around 38%.
Right.
So obviously, in the H2, you cannot expect that because the base is very high. But as you rightly said, industry, our take is this year will grow by at least 10%.
Right.
Give and take 1% here and there. So earlier the forecast, which was given of around 4 to 6%, unless until something goes totally wrong.
Right. Right.
But as on today, I don't see any reason that why the industry should not grow by 10%.
Right.
That's a positive sign.
Yeah, right. And Partho, I want to talk on CNG. I mean, that's one area you all have really taken the lead. And I would say, to the point where a lot of other OEMs are now, let's say, I would say, running around to try and get CNG options, because clearly it's a fuel which is becoming more mainstream, more acceptable, not at a one, I wouldn't say a niche, but, not for a certain set of customers. It's kind of democratized in that way. Just your CNG story, and, clearly even Victoris is a great example, a high-end vehicle with about 45% market share for CNG. So clearly a lot of acceptance in the upper end as well. What has changed on CNG? And do you think this whole worry about E20 petrol and what will do to your car and all this kind of, let's say, noise in the market has also pushed people towards CNG?
I think first of all, earlier, if a customer was opting for CNG, generally the perception was this, that he's a very value conscious customer. He's trying to reduce the running cost, the TCO part of it. But now what we are seeing with the Victoris, the underbody CNG, the profile of the customers who are coming, they are not only looking for the mileage part of it, the lower running cost. In fact, it has become an aspirational product. The way the engine has been tuned by our engineering team, you don't feel a difference at all when you drive it. So fundamentally, you are not losing at all any sort of space in the boot. You are able to have the same experience like the gasoline engine. And at the top of it, if you are able to reduce your TCO, fundamentally, even in the EV also, Hormazd, let me share with you, one of the primary reasons for people to buy the EV is the TCO.
In the end, we are value conscious.
So maybe it will not come upfront actually, I want to reduce my running cost. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but that is also one of the reasons.
Right.
So EV is an aspirational product. People are going for that. But at the same time, the TCO part works. Same thing we are saying now in the CNG. It is not the TCO is the main reason. It is another reason which further, I would say, tilts the decision towards the CNG. So underbody CNG is a game changer. And we were the first to launch it in the mid SUV segment. Now we have introduced in the compact SUV also.
Right.
And we feel this should do very well in the market because the acceptance of underbody CNG in Victoris has been phenomenal. We are not able to meet the demand. You rightly said almost 50% of the vehicles which are there now is having the underbody CNG. Please understand there are certain markets where the CNG penetration is very low due to the infrastructure problem. I'm talking about the south.
So what you're saying is that the
Southeast.
infrastructure increase there, that would
No, the
push
government
demand
is
in.
working on it.
Right.
They are expanding the network, and now another phenomenon has happened. Recently, I was talking to one dealer in Amritsar. He says my demand for CNG Victorious is going up. So I say, you don't have the gas stations. कौन खरीद रहा है? So he says, sir, there is a plan. It is going to come near future. So customer says, what's
then
wrong?
run it on
What's
petrol.
wrong in that? I will run it on petrol. और वो गैस स्टेशन आने वाला है, मैं फिर से गाड़ी थोड़ी ना बदलूंगा. So it was a very pleasant surprise for me.
He was literally doing it as a future forecasting.
Exactly. And another thing which has come also, you rightly said, after this Hormuz war is that how to insulate you from the crude prices, which keeps fluctuating. CNG that way is pretty stable.
That's
actually.
Right. Yeah.
So no, people have understood, if I don't compromise on my driving experience, I am not losing on the boot space. I'm
Infrastructure is
I'm
better
able
now.
to reduce my TCO.
Right.
And the infrastructure per se, it's not that problem which earlier used to be there. It's win-win, it's ticking all the boxes. Why one should not go for it?
Exactly. No, just coming to petrol again, do you think there's a slight concern on petrol? As I said, there's E20 noise, worry about supply price going up. Do you think there's some kind of little concern on that, and that's also driving a little bit more CNG, or do you think CNG is on its own merit is getting market share?
See, I think after the Hormuz war, we all know that our Honorable Prime Minister also gave a mandate that please try to switch over to more and more clean and green vehicles in order to save the forex. So fundamentally, if there is a product which is there, which ticks all the boxes, be it in terms of meeting your expectation, your drivability quotient, TCO, so there is no problem with the infrastructure. So there is no harm in switching from gasoline to the CNG vehicles.
Right.
And it's a much cleaner vehicle. It helps to keep the environment clean also.
Right. Partho, switching to electrics, e-Vitara, I mean, to be honest, pretty good numbers, for the positioning of the car. Who are the customers? I mean, this is their first foray into EVs. Why are they buying it? You said because TCO was an important thing. Just to touch upon the importance of charging infra, obviously that is critical. And, can we see a ramp up in volumes? I know you all have kind of, in a way, capped it for domestic because a lot of export to be done. So, obviously on the electrification, let's say, EV market for your.
First of all, Hormazd, with humility, I would like to say that in the EV space, we have just entered.
Right.
So we are learning.
Right.
And we believe that we need to first do the seeding, then only the harvesting should happen.
So this is still a seeding phase, you think?
Yes, we are in the seeding phase. Our one motto is very clear, that the product which we give in the market should not have any quality problems. The customer should have a good experience. So we believe that maybe we will go step by step. We will create our own ecosystem. The customers who are buying our car today, you will be surprised to know, till date I have not heard that I have got a feedback that e-Vitara on the road count off.
Right.
Which was the case with many of the electric vehicles you would have read about in the social media. Till date, I have not received any feedback like that. Yes, there is still scope for improvement. We are getting the feedback from the customers.
Right.
And always our endeavor has been to improve the product. But at the same time, you need to understand the market. You need to create a good ecosystem. And then if you have a play, it's much better. Because if you, without creating the ecosystem, without making your whole network ready for it, you keep on increasing the numbers, it doesn't help you out. So our infrastructure part of it, we have prepared very well. Be it our service stations, be the charging network. Our endeavor is this, that every 25 kilometers, the customer should have a charging point.
Every 25 kilometers?
Yes, we want to do that. And we have got our own network also, Hormazd. We have got more than 10,500 touch points across the country.
Wow.
So fundamentally, if we are able to capitalize on our network, it solves the problem of the charging. When a customer who buys the EV, he should not be slave of a charging plug, actually.
Right.
To be very honest, I borrowed it from you. But it's a very nice thing which you shared with me. And that should be the first thing. See, if you create a good ecosystem and then you give a good product backed up by the good after-sales service, which we are known for, there is no rhyme and reason that why you should not be able to win the customers.
Right. But Partho sir, just last few questions is, we're in this very transition phase, which must be very tough for the OEMs. There's no silver bullet right now from powertrain. You've got CNG doing very well. You've got your traditional petrols doing very well. We're in the small displacement category. You all are really number one by far. You've got EVs. You've got hybrids as well. So, from an OEM point of view, must be quite a challenge to really kind of, focus on all this because there are always limited resources. And obviously, there's even hybrids have a potential going forward.
So, you rightly mentioned, but if you want to be a market leader,
you have to be there in everything.
You have to be in everything. We are of very clear thought process that don't push the customer for only one form factor or one powertrain.
Right.
Give him the options. So our take is this: the Indian auto industry will have all the form factors. Hatches will also be there. In Europe, you still see the hatches are doing pretty good. So there will be customers who will be liking the shape. There will be a customer for MPV also.
Sedan also, compact. Desire is there.
Sedan also. All will be there. See, ultimately, Hormazd and I believe one thing, and that was told to me by one of a very great person. He says, Partho, if you're able to provide the customer a right product which meets his requirement at the right price,
you won.
You won.
Right.
So I still remember that. And it's a wonderful statement. And this statement was given to me by our chairman, sir.
Right.
When I used to talk to him, he always tells me that, Partho, you need to take these two boxes.
Right.
So if you understand the customer, you are able to make a good product. He says right product. Don't overspec it and don't try to make it very, very simple also.
Right.
What he wants, if you're able to do, and if you ask him to pay the right price, you will succeed.
Right.
So this mantra, I strongly believe in marketing. So when I talk to my product planning team, I always go back to these two fundamental things.
Right.
Am I able to get the right product? Keeping in mind that customer.
Right.
So see, at the end of the day, customer wants everything. Dil mange more.
Right.
But there is a wallet power also.
Correct.
In Brezza, I can give many features. Then what's the difference between a car costing 2 million rupees and a car costing maybe 1 million rupees?
Right.
There has to be something different.
Right.
It will have 4 wheels, 1 steering wheel, all will be there. So fundamentally, it can't happen that everything can be provided at any price point. So that's where you need to really understand the pulse of the customer.
Right.
And we try our level best to understand that.
And Partho-san, just last question, taking a leaf out of what, Bhargav-san has always believed in, is the small car segment. Everyone has given up on it, but he said it's coming back. Clearly, I think obviously the GST helped. Just your thoughts. It seems that the lower end of the market is reviving, and how is that panning out? And do you see that being sustained, or is it just a spurt, or people are still aspirational and want to jump to, let's say, higher segments?
See, the aspirations is going up, no two doubt about it. What the India was there 10 years back, today it is very different. No two doubts about it. But again, right price, right product. So fundamentally with the small cars, what happened was this: due to all these regulations,
they became expensive.
Right. If you add a airbag in a car costing 0.5 million rupees, 5 lakh rupees, and in a car costing 25 lakh rupees, obviously the airbag cost doesn't vary much.
Correct.
But the percentage per se, it increases much more in the small car than a 25 lakh car. And obviously the customer who is buying the entry-level car, we need to appreciate that his wallet power is not that great as compared to a customer who is buying the 25 lakh worth car. So you have to understand the thing that priorities change, the so-called the requirement changes from segment to segment. So if again there, a form factor other thing is a different matter. Obviously you need to meet the aspirations of the customer. You come with a different form factor, maybe to be liked more. So the shape which is there is something which I am not worried, that can be taken care of. But the important thing is to understand what are the factors which really make a impact for an entry-level customer, and what are the factors which is going to decide for a car which is positioned at 25 lakh rupees. They are totally different. It cannot be the same reasons in which he can do. Obviously, mileage, reliability, giving them the quality is hygiene. That has to be given even in a car.
And maybe mileage is more important at the lower end than at the higher.
Exactly. So the parameters changes, but the basic philosophy and the DNA of the company cannot change. You need to provide that baseline. So that has been always been our endeavor. But keeping in mind only one thing, Hormazd son, maybe I should ask your viewpoint also. Car penetration in India is still 34 per thousand.
Right, that's true.
So
Huge
it has
potential.
to go up actually. Everybody cannot leapfrog to a car costing 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs.
Right.
Whatever the aspirations, the way India is growing.
But do you think the pre-owned market, your True Value and all, could be a competitor to the new car to some extent?
As long as you are not able to offer a right price at a right product.
Right. Again, it comes down to that mantra. Yeah.
If you are able to come,
right.
Surely I think there will be a huge market for it.
Right.
And yes, step up will happen. Only point is this: nobody is coming with any product in that segment.
Right. So you're in a way last man standing there in the.
No, we are not standing. We are going to have a play in that also.
So we push that.
We firmly believe that if the motorization has to happen, you cannot just, everybody cannot leapfrog to 15 lakh rupees car.
So there's still conviction in the entry level.
Wow. And nothing wrong about it.
No, absolutely. I think it's important. Someone has to.
We need to need to crack it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're one of the few manufacturers in the world who still believes in that, because everyone else says that it's too costly. We can't compete there. They've thrown their hands up. So even globally, you see, globally small cars have disappeared. But I think it's, as you said, very relevant for India. And I think, it makes sense even from every point of view. They're lighter, they're more environmentally friendly, they take up less road space.
Even the CO2 emissions which happens in the small car is much less.
That's right.
So if you see from the country's perspective also, it helps you out actually.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you need to provide the joy of mobility to the 1.4 million customers. If you have to do that, you need to come up with some product. The Germans, they did it actually. The Volkswagen came, the motor was to increase the motorization.
The Mini in UK as well. That's right. So, great Partho San. And I think, with that right product, right price, I think the Brezza has been very well priced. Congratulations and wish you all success. Thank you.
Thank you.